Alright guys, welcome back to Budget Card Breaks, and I have about a 22 card golden auction return order, or I guess 21. It was supposed to be 22. I did win a 2000 Meowth coin that was graded a PSA 8, but it didn't come in the mail for some reason, so I'm going to have to look into that. But let's get started going over the cards, and I'll kind of explain why I bought them and everything like that. So first off, this 2007 Raichu Power Keepers. Raichu is probably top 10 favorite Pokemon. This goes for about $45 on eBay. I was actually looking to buy this on eBay, but I managed to snag this for about $30. So happy about that. Really like this card. Again, anything E-Series, I'm always looking to grab regardless, especially if it's the original 150 Pokemon. Someone told me there's over 1,000 Pokemon. Okay, I'm really only interested in, as the sets progress, they continue to keep the 150. And I would say there's about an extra 50 Pokemon in there that I like that aren't part of the original 150, like Tyranitar, Torchic. I'm drawing a blank. Shit. But, you know, there's probably like 10 or 15. But normally I like to stick to the original 150 because that's what I know. That's what's nostalgic. That's what I grew up with. But definitely a great price on this. I think I paid under $20 for this, which is always good for an E-Series card, especially reverse foil. Now this Mew. Last auction, and keep in mind, I have taken a look at all these cards because they have plastic over them. And especially the Japanese cards. I guess we haven't seen any of the Japanese ones, but the hollow pattern on them are intense. And even this one, once you take the plastic off of it, the hollow pattern is just way more intense. So keep that in mind. The hollow pattern definitely doesn't stick out as much because I have the protector on it, but without it, it definitely glistens and shines. But anyways, last time this card was up, it was the original Mew. I think this card was originally made in 2004, 2002. I'm not exactly sure, but I tried to bid up the original card for $51 and I lost. So I decided to pick the 2016 XY 1-Up, the remake. And I got this for $19. So pretty good pickup. Again, I'm interested in the artwork. It's the same exact artwork, just a little bit newer. So cool card. Next, we have a Grimer PSA 8. And another thing that I'll touch on with this video, if you don't see, I have a lot of PSA 8s. You'll see a lot of PSA 6s. One thing I noticed with grading cards, PSA, well, let's just grab a 6 out of here. All right, a 6. So when you order, by the way, I love Fire Red and Leaf because look at the hollow pattern. It's absolutely my favorite out of all of them. So anything Fire, Red, Leaf, and Green. But keep in mind, this is a PSA 6. And the card's pretty clean. So when you're ordering these near mint copies online, guys, everyone thinks it's going to grade a 9 to 10. That's just not the case. You know what I mean? Yes, you might be able to grab this card raw in near mint condition. I paid for about 15 bucks for this. You could probably buy one near mint for about 15 bucks. But then you got to grade it. That's another $15. That's $30 into the card. And you're hoping that it grades a 9 or a 10 to make your money. God forbid it grades a 6, you're losing a lot of money. So in my mind, I do have about 50 near mint cards that needs to be graded. I'm saving those for the national. I'm going to submit them, but at this point, I'd rather just collect PSA 9s, 8s, 6s, and stack those up versus buying them raw, doing all the work to submit the cards, and then, you know, it's just a lot of extra work. And I just want an example of the card, and if you didn't notice, again, hollow pattern is great on this. This is a clean 6, you know. Good enough for me, that's for sure. So this Grimer, a lot of people don't understand reverse holofoils. Very hard to get good grades on because all of this can easily chip. So, again, original 150 Pokemon, so I definitely wanted it. It's in an 8. Very clean 8. So, That's what people don't understand. Let me put you guys on hold for just one moment. I'll give you guys a good example of something. All right. Sorry about that, guys. But just a quick example here. So these are all near mint cards I bought raw. But let's just look at the back of them, okay? Like, you see how there's a little edge wear. You know, honestly, these cards don't look as good as those PSA 6s, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's just so much money in Pokemon now. People will list cards as near mint when they're really... I mean, this is probably like a PSA 7 at best, you know? And when I bought it, of course, I was hoping to get a PSA 10, because when you're buying near mint, there's nothing higher than that. So you're assuming you're buying the best possible raw card, but that's just not the case. So you have to get really lucky to buy a raw card and really actually get a good grade on that. So for now, I just would rather have 8s, 7s, and 6s. They're perfect examples of the card for me. I just really want the card, you know? Especially in an 8, I'd much rather, like this card, I paid $16 for this in an 8. In a 10, you pay 5, 6, 7 times more than that. Is it really worth it? Maybe if you're really rich, but not for me, that's for sure. But yeah, so this one, again, I mean, there's a little corner wear right there. So, alright, and this Hitmonchamp. I got this for super cheap, 14 bucks. I couldn't believe it, especially being Aquapolis, which is one of the lowest printed sets ever. So, very surprised that I got it for this cheap. Again, decently clean looking card, a little edge wear right there, edge wear down there. But like I said, same thing you see on these cards, you know what I mean? And you're taking the risk. I paid less than it cost to grade this card for the entire card. Versus, you know, I paid probably 25 bucks for this. Then you got to grade it. That's 40 bucks right there. So that's kind of my thought process behind why I'm getting lower graded cards. They make me perfectly happy. I don't need 10s. If you guys have followed my channel, you would know that. But I'm really just looking to get all of the hollows, starting with like WotC, and then I'm not trying to complete whole sets. I'm not really interested. Like reverse hollows, any of them I can find of older cards, pre-2010, even pre-2016, I'm cool with. But Gym Heroes, I definitely like Gym Heroes. And this card had a crazy hollow pattern. You can't really see it, again, with the cover, but crazy hollow pattern with this card. Clean as hell. Got this, I'd say for the Gym Hero cards, on average, I paid $21 for them. There's a lot of $20 bids, so $21 to win them. Again, about $21 for this card, but this is actually one of my favorite. Look at that holo. It's so holographic, and without, it's just twice as good without. You always see that with the Japanese cards, and I actually prefer Japanese because they don't make first edition. So these are the first edition cards. As in English, you know, you have the regular and first edition. It just creates a whole lot more to collect. So I always try to go with the Japanese if possible. Just makes it easier. Alright, and then we got this Misty's Golduck. Like I said, I did pick up a lot of Gym Heroes in this particular purchase. Good looking card, nice hollow pattern. Another Vileplume. Not the greatest Pokemon, but got it in the jungle. And then, what was the other one? Gym Heroes, yeah. Again, great looking card for a 7, man. People are just way too fixated on these 10s. Like, 7s and 8s look just fine to me. Alright, so this Mew Hollow. Man, I used to have this card as a kid. I don't know where it went, but I'm glad I have it back. Nice looking card, Mew. Great character. This card I actually picked up for $5. I put the $5 minimum bid on it, and no one bid against me. The reason why I did it is first edition, and Giraffe. I'm 6'6". I have extremely long limbs. I would compare myself to like Kevin Durant-esque limbs. I have very long arms and very wiry person. I do weightlift, but it just you know, the longer you are, the harder it is to fill out. So I just kind of like the giraffe, you know. So I picked it up, and it was such a cheap price. I'm surprised no one bid more than $5 on that. Now this is my favorite Kingdra card of all time, by far. I might have to pick this up in a better grade just because I like it so much. But the hollow pattern on this is sweet. I don't really think I need a. I mean, why a higher grade? Just so I can get a little bit of whitening off of it and spend 5 times the money? I don't know. I just want the example when it comes to Pokemon. Now, Executor. A lot of people don't like this Pokemon, but I do a lot. Nice swirl right there. And a 6. And like I said, anything E-Series, I want those all day. Anything E-Series, great. That's a sweet swirl right there. Beautiful card. Now we got a first edition. Very lucky on this. I think I paid about $19 for this. Great hollow pattern, first edition. Can't go wrong with first edition, which I'm seriously lacking in. I don't know what it was, but when I collected as a kid, everything was unlimited. I didn't have access to first edition packs. My old collection, I had no first edition cards. I don't recall ever opening a first edition pack. I was born in 1993. I started collecting, and I would say first going into second grade, so like maybe 2000. So maybe I was a little late to the party. I'm not sure on that. Typhlosion. I really like Typhlosion, just generally as a Pokemon. This next one, I'm working on getting the Typhlosion. A couple of different examples. You know, that Typhlosion that's worth a bunch of money if you get a Gem Mint 10. I'm bidding on that one and another one, first edition one. But this is a nice Typhlosion and a 6. Dragon Frontiers. I like the hollow pattern on Delta Species, Dragon Frontiers. Really cool sets. This is also a really cool set. I like Sandstorm. Pichu, one of my favorite Pokemons as a kid. Not as big of a fan as Pichu as I used to be, but I mean as a kid. But I like this card. Again, people don't realize reverse foils are hard to get good grades on. One thing I'll say as a tip is I noticed 6s in PSA. I can't speak for BGS, but they look good for Pokemon and PSA 6s. But once you get down to PSA 5s, you see some fading, some like, you know, I draw the line there. I'd say 6 and better are pretty good copies to have, but just from my experience, when I've gotten 5s, they've had some fading issues and just things I didn't like about them. But anyways, Electabuzz, another Gym Heroes card. We call our hollow pattern on this, but paid about 21 bucks for this as well. Now here's a 5. I try to stay away from 5s. They have a lot of PSA 5s for sale on Goldin, but as you can see, there's a swirl right there. Like I said, when you take it out of this, the hollow pattern is much more prevalent. But this is an English copy, and English, for some reason, their hollow patterns suck. But yeah, another Gym Heroes. Happy to have this card. I think I got this for about 14. And last but not least, I did get this in a 3, but I got this for like 14 bucks. And, you know, in a 7 or an 8, this is a really expensive card. Don't even get me started on a 10. This is like over $1,000 card. So I'm just happy to have an example of it. As you can see, there's some creases right there. But other than that, it doesn't, the normal picture, there's no damage there. There's no scratching. Back looks good. You just got that right there. And that doesn't bother me at all. So all of these cards are definitely personal collection cards for me that'll have my collection for years to come. If you were to ask me my favorite cards out of this, it'd be really hard to decide. The Kingdra, let me actually grab them. I think I could at least give you a top 3. All right. And these are actually not nearly. The Kingdra, I just love Kingdra. And this is my favorite Kingdra card, so definitely cool. This is Bulbasaur just because Fire Red and Leaf Green. Probably one of my favorite sets just because the hollow pattern is sweet on these. I definitely want to grab more of these. And then last but not least is Power Keeper's Raichu. I've actually had my eye on this card for about 3 months. I just didn't want to pay the $45 for it. So I'm glad I got a little $15 discount on that one. So let me know what you guys think about all these pickups. Like I said, on average, I paid about $20 per card, I'd say. And I did pay $25 for a 2000 Meowth PSA 8 graded coin. I don't know how great of a price that is, but I did see some older graded coins, like, for example, Torchic, a red coin that was going for about 500 graded. So I figured that was a good pickup for 20 some dollars. I don't know where it is in the mail, though. I'm going to have to double check on that. But yeah, I know this is a long video. If you stuck with me this long, comment. I appreciate it. Let me know what some of your favorite cards were. Do you think PSA 6s, PSA 8s, and 7s have good resale value or any resale value at all? Or do you think that's strictly just for PC? I know people buy PSA 10s because that's the best resale, but I also believe that there's resale value in lower graded cards. Let me know what you guys think about that. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think. Enjoy your Friday and have a great weekend.